Authorities in Thua Thien Hue Province are urgently evacuating hundreds of households as prolonged torrential rainfall on Monday, November 17, 2025, led to severe and widespread flooding, with water levels reaching up to 5 meters in some areas. The historic city of Hue, a UNESCO World Heritage Site and former imperial capital, has seen major urban streets transformed into temporary rivers, paralyzing daily life and transport. The central Vietnamese province, already reeling from previous flood events in late October and early November, is enduring another intense deluge as a strong cold surge from the north interacts with high-altitude disturbances, pushing river levels past critical alarm thresholds. The heaviest impacts are concentrated in low-lying and riverside districts. In Phong Dien Ward, a particularly hard-hit area, water depths were reported to be between 4.5 to 5 meters in the deepest points, effectively isolating communities and submerging the local Phong My Market. Throughout the rest of the province and central Hue City, flooding levels range from 0.5 to 0.8 meters generally, with some areas reaching up to 2.5 meters. Key roads in southern Hue, including Hung Vuong, Ba Trieu, to Hue, and Phan Dinh Phung, are impassable due to the high water. The Huong, Perfume, and Bo rivers have both significantly surpassed Alert Level 3, the highest warning level. This has necessitated controlled water discharges from reservoirs like Hung Dien and Ta Trach, which in turn worsens flooding downstream. In response to the crisis, authorities have prioritized safety, evacuating 129 households, 381 residents, from high-risk zones in Phong Dien Ward on Monday morning. Over 130 individuals were also relocated in Aluoi Commune due to risks of landslides and flash floods in mountainous areas. Schools province-wide have been closed since November 15th, and a planned Digital Transformation Week event was postponed. Police and military are assisting, including setting up checkpoints on flooded national highways and providing emergency transport for medical needs using boats. The floods have caused significant damage, including the collapse of a 15-meter section of the ancient Hue Imperial Citadel wall in early November due to water pressure. While National Highway 1 is partially open, many provincial roads are blocked or damaged by numerous landslides, with 38 recorded sites around Hue. Heavy to very heavy rainfall is forecast to continue until at least November 20th. Authorities advise residents to stay alert, follow evacuation orders, and prepare for potential further flooding as the region faces a severe and prolonged flood season. Meanwhile, prolonged and intense rainfall has triggered severe flooding and landslides across Quang Tri Province, central Vietnam, on Monday, November 17, 2025. The deluge has submerged residential areas, cut off key transportation routes, and prompted urgent evacuations of hundreds of households in high-risk mountainous and low-lying regions. The province is currently experiencing widespread disruption, with several districts particularly affected by the rising floodwaters. The flood situation is most critical in Quang Tri's mountainous districts, where rising river levels have led to deep inundation. Ba Long Commune is one of the areas most heavily impacted, with water levels reaching dangerous heights. Authorities have reported significant flooding in Day Krong District, Ba Long Commune, Hung Heap Commune, Nam Hai Lang and Hai Lang communes. In these areas, swift-flowing floodwaters have cut off roads, making travel impossible and isolating communities.
Save the dog.
Ensuring resident safety is the top priority for local authorities. In Ba Long Commune alone, 210 households comprising 785 residents were promptly evacuated to safer, higher ground locations to escape the rising waters. Provincial forces, including military and police, are mobilized to assist with rescue operations and setting up emergency checkpoints. The continuous downpours have wreaked havoc on the province's infrastructure. Flooding has cut off sections of major roads within Quang Tri Province, with water depths reaching up to 1 meter in several areas. Landslides are a significant concern in the upland regions. A landslide was recorded at km 159 plus 150 on the western branch of the Ho Chi Minh Road, a key route, further complicating access and relief efforts. Authorities are focused on addressing these blockages and ensuring critical routes can be cleared for emergency access once conditions allow. The National Center for Hydrometeorological Forecasting warns that the central region, including Quang Tri, faces a high risk of continued heavy rain until at least November 18th, with some areas potentially receiving over 300 millimeters of rain. Meanwhile, the central coastal province of Con Hoa is reeling from the effects of unprecedented heavy rainfall on Monday, November 17, 2025, which has triggered deadly landslides and severe flooding. The natural disaster resulted in at least 7 fatalities, numerous injuries, and widespread disruption to daily life and industry. Rainfall levels in the past 24 hours in some areas of Con Hoa have been extreme, with certain localities recording nearly 400 millimeters of precipitation, causing rivers to swell rapidly and burst their banks. The most tragic incidents occurred on Sunday night and Monday morning, involving multiple landslides on key mountain passes linking Con Hoa to the Central Highlands. A passenger bus carrying 32 people was struck and buried by a mass of soil and rocks late Sunday night. Emergency rescue teams, hampered by continued heavy rain and further landslides blocking both sides of the pass, worked through the night to reach the vehicle. At least 6 people on the bus were killed, and 19 others were injured and transported to Con Hoa General Hospital. A separate landslide struck a temporary shelter for 10 workers near Tuong Vai Stream on Sunday evening. 7 workers managed to escape, but 3 were buried. Rescuers recovered 1 body and found another injured person, with search efforts continuing for the final missing individual amidst the adverse weather. Beyond the immediate human tragedy, the floods have caused significant infrastructure damage and economic disruption. Over 6,000 workers were forced to halt operations on Monday morning when severe flooding, with water levels reaching up to 1 meter, inundated the industrial park in Thuan Bac Commune. The management suspended electricity supply to prevent accidents, disrupting production schedules. Floodwaters have submerged many villages and damaged fields, including areas like Go San, Mai Nan, and Ba Thap. The main north-south railway was flooded, leading to the suspension of several trains carrying passengers through the province. The Kai River in Nha Trang has swelled past critical alarm levels 2 and 3, exacerbating the flooding in surrounding low-lying areas. Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh has ordered urgent remediation measures and a swift investigation into the cause of the deadly landslide on the Con La Pass, stressing the need for strict adherence to safety protocols in hazardous areas. Forecasts indicate that heavy rain is likely to persist until at least November 20th, keeping the risk of further flash floods and landslides extremely high. Local authorities are urging residents to stay vigilant, avoid flooded areas, and adhere to all safety warnings and evacuation orders. One of the most critical disruptions occurred on the vital Pren Pass, a 10-kilometer stretch of National Highway 20 that links the popular tourist city of Dalat with Ho Chi Minh City. Heavy rain on Monday morning caused large cracks to appear on the road surface, with nearly half of one downslope section collapsing. Local authorities immediately cordoned off the site and closed the pass to all traffic to ensure safety and begin repair assessments. The damage to this essential gateway into Dalat is expected to cause significant traffic disruption for motorists and supply chains. The Meteorological Center has reported rainfall totals in the region of 100 to 150 millimeters within 24 hours, with some areas exceeding 200 millimeters, saturating the soil and dramatically increasing the risk of further landslides and flash floods. Authorities in Lam Dong have deployed emergency teams to assist residents, manage the road closures, and ensure safety across the affected districts. Residents have been advised to avoid travel through inundated or landslide-prone areas and monitor local weather advisories closely as the wet weather is expected to persist in the coming days.